Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining me. I'm Iona Walters. I'm a Senior Solutions Consultant with Adobe, and I'm here today to talk to you about Adobe's Creative Cloud solution, specifically within the enterprise environment, and also to share with you the market trends that have shaped Adobe's corporate vision for the Creative Cloud and why the digital media business has moved in this direction. At Adobe, we recognise there are a range of market forces which are impacting the creative process, and the ability to manage the rapid change that occurs in today's markets is essential. Businesses need to be able to grow, to expand their brand presence, to manage internal and external relationships across a range of platforms, devices, locations, and workspaces. And in order to be able to achieve this, we believe you need to empower your creatives with faster, innovative workflows, as well as enabling IT to manage and deploy software in a more streamlined way, and to give people access to training and support systems. We have also, of course, seen an explosion in the number of devices and mobile platforms on the market. It's no longer sufficient to have a website formatted just for a desktop machine or laptop. Consumers now expect your content to be responsive and delivered correctly across multiple screen sizes. In order to do this, creative teams need to access innovative creative tools across a range of platforms to leverage HTML5 responsive design and best practices. Businesses need to maximize on efficiency. Users need to be empowered to work in and out of the workplace on laptops, tablets, and other devices. And teams need fast, efficient ways to manage and deliver projects. The review and approval cycles need to be streamlined, and creatives have had to come up with combinations of apps and services from different sources to try and overcome these workflow challenges. Tools such as email, Dropbox, YouSendIt, and FTP servers are handy, but introduce a lot of other challenges regarding security, as well as file duplication and redundancy. And it's very hard to track where assets are and where they may end up. So what's really needed is one centralized approach to creative asset management and collaboration in a controlled and secure framework. In order to stay current and productive, businesses need the most up-to-date tools in order to hire and hold on to great talent, as well as stay competitive and promote innovation. But between Adobe releases, operating system updates, mobile tablet releases, and VPN and other updates, IT have been kept pretty busy. It's been hard for organisations to track tools, versions, licenses, and platforms, and of course stay in compliance. And aside from having access to them, creative teams also require training on the latest tools in a way in which won't disrupt their daily work. So easier software deployment and streamlined training would make a big difference. Other challenges that many companies face are around distributed workforces. How do you scale software licenses up to be the most cost effective and ensure new hires quickly get what they need? How can people be enabled to work wherever, whenever they want and how they want, both individually and collaboratively? Cloud-based services help organisations conquer these challenges and position them for faster innovation to be able to quickly respond to market dynamics. Adobe has focused its business vision to enable our creative and publishing tools to align with our marketing, reporting and analytics tools in the form of two distinct cloud service offerings, the Adobe Creative Cloud and the Adobe Marketing Cloud. The Adobe Creative Cloud, the main focus of this presentation, helps our customers to create, deliver and publish content across any device. This is where our traditional Creative Suite solutions are found in their CC form, along with many new services and solutions including the Digital Publishing Suite, Adobe Muse, the Edge tools and services, Business Catalyst, and more to follow. The Adobe Marketing Cloud helps customers manage and analyze results of content distribution and includes our Marketing Cloud services such as social media, advertising, targeting, and analytics. But now I'd like to talk about the Creative Cloud for Enterprise. This is a strategic focus for Adobe and is paramount in our transformation as a high-tech leader in the industry. The Adobe Creative Cloud is a membership which gives subscribers exclusive access to tools and services, as well as collaboration and sign-off workflows and expert training and support. In the last 10 years, we've seen huge changes. The rapid evolution of the internet, the explosion in mobile, and the transformation of the publishing industry. With so much change also comes new opportunities for creatives. Video and interactive content is absolutely core to a company's ability to communicate via websites, apps, and even in PDF documents. And photographers are moving beyond still images to motion video to support this demand. Print designers are considering the shift to digital outputs and the web designer is now thinking about mobile first. This is why Adobe came up with the Creative Cloud, to enable companies to embrace change in an easy, manageable way and to give them access to the tools to be able to create without limits. From designing to publishing to sharing your work with each other, it's all in there. And the Creative Cloud is constantly changing because the creative processes are constantly changing. The Creative Cloud is a connected solution which puts the creative and their work at its very centre. So now really the only limit is their imagination. As a subscriber to the Creative Cloud, you not only get access to the world's best creative tools and services, you get ongoing value over time. Along with your favourite Adobe Creative Suite, now CC products, plus tools and services like Edge Animate, PhoneGap Build to build HTML content and applications. Membership also gives ongoing access to tools you not only have today, but new offerings from Adobe that are only available exclusively through the cloud. But it's not just about applications, of course, as I've mentioned. Creatives need to be able to access their files and their assets wherever they are, and the cloud enables them to do this. You can also choose to synchronize these files with your desktop or offline environment. And in addition, you can sync your application settings and move seamlessly from machine to machine, be that keyboard shortcuts, workspaces, swatches, brushes, web fonts. So the environment you're used to working in moves with you, and you can quickly pick up from where you left off. The Creative Cloud allows you to collaborate with customers or colleagues. You can share files, you can add comments to these files, and clients can even preview the layers and pages within a document whilst it's still in its native form. For example, a PSD Photoshop document, without having the application installed on their machine. And this means that your work can remain dynamic and editable with no extra exporting. And your teams and clients can be sure to have access to the most up-to-date material with a clear, built-in, streamlined sign-off and communication workflow. And with versioning control, you can manage and access previous versions of these documents. You can even see and track comments on versions within your CC app. There are license management tools to manage the deployment of applications and updates when you choose to do so in an organised and simplified way. The cloud brings you 15 brand new CC applications which are only available through the Creative Cloud, and they have hundreds of new and updated features. Integration with Behance enables you to showcase and share your projects directly from some of your Creative Cloud desktop applications, and through this you can promote your work via social media channels and even offer it for sale. In addition, you can maximise your profile using the powerful website building and hosting service Behance ProSite, which comes as part of your Creative Cloud membership, usually costing $99 a year. You can customize the ProSite templates, you can attach your personal URL if you have one, you can use creative web fonts served by Typekit, and you can add projects directly from Behance or embed media from other social media sites. We've also announced that we will continue to sell CS6, but we will not offer further innovation in our perpetual products. It's also worth noting that you will have access to CS6 products and applications via the Creative Cloud, which you can run alongside your CC applications if you require. With this release, we're introducing the new CC versioning to reflect their new, more connected form. So for example, rather than Photoshop CS7, we have Photoshop CC. And just let me emphasize how big this is. Going from CS6 up to CC is as big as when Adobe went from Photoshop 7 up to CS. It's actually only been a year since our last major desktop apps release, which of course was CS6, but the breadth and the depth of the new features for productivity and creativity within these CC desktop apps is really amazing. Camera shake reduction in Photoshop de-blurs by restoring sharpness to images blurred by a camera shake or movement. The all-new Smart Sharpen tool, also in Photoshop, makes the texture and detail in your image pop. It keeps noise and halo effects away, and it lets you fine-tune your images with high-quality results. The Touch Type tool in Illustrator allows you to design with type in a powerful new tactile way. You can select individual characters within the word and manipulate them as if they're individual objects. It allows you to use multi-touch devices as well as a mouse or a stylus. The CSS Designer in Dreamweaver gives you access to the most up-to-date CSS and properties available via an intuitive visual editing tool. Editing Finesse in Premiere Pro focuses on sleek design and customization capabilities, combined with new editing features and keyboard-driven editing improvements. And the live 3D pipeline with Cinema 4D in After Effects lets you add 3D objects and scenes, eliminating intermediate rendering between these applications. Cinema 4D Lite actually comes packaged with After Effects as part of the Creative Cloud offering. Parallax Scrolling in Muse allows you to create stunning effects with just a few mouse clicks. You can make images and elements within the page move in different directions and at different speeds while scrolling. Motion paths in Edge Animate allow you to animate elements along totally customizable paths. And there's completely modernized architecture in InDesign and Flash Pro, which have both been rebuilt from the ground up to make them faster and more reliable. And these are just a few of the hundreds of new feature updates and improvements that come as part of the CC Applications release. But it's not just about applications, of course. You also need to be able to access your files and assets wherever you are and to be able to share them with your colleagues and with your clients. And always make sure that you have the most up-to-date version of that content. So I've got my browser open with my Creative Cloud folders in place here. I've got a collaboration folder set up. That's something that's coming in future releases of the Creative Cloud, where you'll be able to share folders and collaborate and use this as a really good workflow sign-off solution. So now let's take a look at the Creative Cloud desktop app interface. Within here you can see now I've got a whole load of different feeds coming in. I've got my home screen, which really gives me all of the latest information about what I've been doing, my activities, etc. You can see up on the top here I've got a little prompt as well, which is telling me that I've got some updates to consider accepting, and also that somebody, my colleague here Richard, has shared a folder with me so that we can collaborate. Again, from here I can access all of my applications, do all of the updates that I need to do. And of course, from this Files tab, I can choose to open my folder which I've got synced locally on my desktop, or I can go straight to the creativecloud.com and view the folder structure and files online in that space. But the other great thing that you can now do as part of the cloud is to access, browse and synchronize some of your fonts from the Typekit server to the desktop. If I just launch the fonts browser now, this is taking me straight to Typekit. And you can see now I've got all of these fonts that I could browse previously for my web applications, but now I've also got the ability to browse the desktop syncable fonts as well. So this means that any of these fonts that appear once this is selected are able to be synchronized with my desktop and therefore available in any of my creative products to work with, for example, InDesign or Illustrator or Photoshop. So I can really make sure I'm keeping that brand consistency across all of my different outputs. So that's Typekit, that's really great. You can create your web typekits as well as usual within there. If I just jump back into my Creative Cloud desktop area, you can see that these are the fonts that I've already synced. I can also manage my fonts from this area as well. Over here I've got my Behance tab, which gives an activity stream of all the people that I'm watching, all of the work that I'm appreciating, etc. From the wider design community. I can also take a look at any work that I've uploaded to get feedback on, etc. And I can browse new work from within here as well. I can view my profile and I can upload projects, etc. I've got the ability within here as well to turn the file and font sync off. And now I'd like to show you an example of a Creative Cloud connected workflow which could really benefit a designer. So as I mentioned, not only are you able to synchronize your fonts, synchronize your files, collaborate via the cloud, you've now got a really fantastic new feature to help you manage your color profiles and make sure that you can access those wherever you are on whichever device it is that you may be working with. So I'm just going to now jump into this Cooler app for the iPhone. I've actually got the camera function working on there. So what it's doing is the camera on the phone is taking a look at all of the colors in the background, which is very colourful since the Creative Cloud background is right there, so that's great. And what I can do then is if I'm out and about on the move and I see some colours out in the street that I want to capture, I can easily do that. I just click on this little accept button here, so let's accept that. This is called theme number 11. What I can do now is if we jump back over to cooler.com, you'll see that theme number 11 has now very handily jumped in for me. So I'm able to also work with it within this area. Now, in the old days, you would be able to download, which you can still do, a file exchange format, a colour swatch format, so that you can then import this into your design applications, for example, Photoshop and Illustrator, and work with these colours, which of course is great. But no longer is that step needed, because if I jump over into Adobe Illustrator and take a look here, I've got my new Cooler panel. And this is fully integrated now with the Cooler.com interface. So I've got all of my existing palettes up there. I'm just going to refresh this. And there we go, theme 11 has jumped straight in here via the Creative Cloud. So it's syncing through my cloud workspace there. So all I had to do is make sure that I'm logged on, make sure that my phone is signed in as well to my Adobe.com account, and this will all happen very seamlessly. It's brilliant. So of course I can then start working with these colours, I can add them to my swatches, and of course the other thing is I can now jump over into my preferences and I can sync my settings. I can choose all of the different elements that I want to sync. And what this will mean is that this again syncs via the Creative Cloud, and then when I come to open on my secondary machine, which may be my desktop machine in a different environment, when I come to open up Illustrator, it will prompt me and ask me if I want to have my preferences imported in from the cloud so that I'm set up and working in this environment. So I have all of my brushes, all of my palettes ready to go for me in the same environment that I was previously working. And now I'd just like to run through some of the myths and misconceptions that exist around the Creative Cloud. You're not running the apps in a web browser. The desktop applications are downloaded and installed, running off your hard drive just like they have always been. You don't have to be constantly connected to the internet to run your creative apps, just once a month to verify that your membership is still active. You can share files with anyone for review or download. They don't need to be a Creative Cloud member. Your files are your files and they remain on your hard drive even if you decide to cancel your Creative Cloud membership. You just sync them to the Creative Cloud so that you can access them from wherever you need to, and of course easily share them with other people. You're not required to install any new version of the desktop software that's available in your membership. You also have the flexibility as to when you install an upgrade if you choose to do so. You don't have to store files in the cloud, and in fact IT can actually turn this functionality off. You can still purchase CS6 if you really want a perpetual license, or you can buy a single app membership. And just also to be aware that within your CC offering, you have access to all of the CS6 applications as well, which you can run simultaneously to your CC app, so you've got total flexibility there. So that was a short peek into the Creative Cloud, which I'm sure you can see really has you and your creative work at its very centre. It gives you access to creative applications, assets, settings, fonts and colours, team collaboration, community, an online portfolio, and also your published work. So that was a quick peek into the Adobe Creative Cloud, which really has you and your creative work at its centre. It gives you access to the latest creative tools and services. It lets you access your files and your assets, your fonts, your settings and your colours. It gives you the opportunity to publish your online portfolio and connects you to the creative community. It also enables team collaboration and workflow solutions. But it's not just about functionality for creatives. The Creative Cloud Packager enables IT to easily package and deploy not just the CC applications themselves, but also the updates as and when they're ready to do so. Let's take a look at that now. To download the packager, just head to the Adobe licensing website. Select the product Creative Cloud Packager and choose the version for your language and operating system. Next, sign in using your Adobe ID, selecting the Enterprise, Government or Education option. Now you're ready to create a distribution package. Just enter your licensing key, give the package a name and save location. You also have the option at this point to choose a free 30-day trial or package with the license. And there's some advanced configuration options. You can disable the Creative Cloud desktop application. You can disable any Adobe Air components. You can set options for conflicting processes, as well as the update behavior of the package contents. For example, disabling updates from automatically happening or for administrators only, as well as specifying internal update servers. You can also choose the install location. Now simply select the language version and the applications to be added to the package. You'll notice any products that have already been downloaded to form a previous package will be cached locally on your machine and will not need to be downloaded again. You can also select which versions of the applications and the updates are to be installed at this point. The package will now be built to distribute and install locally on each user's machine. You'll see the output contains two folders: the build folder, which is the output from the Creative Cloud Packager, and an exceptions directory, which will contain anything not able to be included within the install packager, for example, Adobe Muse. You can now easily deploy the CC applications you need to via network or hard drives, or integrate with a third-party deployment tool. So I hope you found that session useful. Do look out for more information regarding new features, product updates and releases, as well as tutorials via my website, which is creativesneaks.com. You can follow me on Twitter @CreativeSneaks, as well as connecting via various other social media sites where I'll be updating you as to new feature releases, as well as when I've published new content. Do also look out for videos on our Adobe UK YouTube channel, as well as the Adobe TV channel. So thank you very much indeed for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.